Nice and smooth, baby. Hey guys and gals, welcome to Garage Gear. I'm JB, giving you the best tips and tricks to survive life in and out of the garage. Just so we're clear here, these instructions will mainly be for this Toro Super Recycler 21564, but these basic principles can be carried over to many similar mowers and models. So why are we doing this? Well, when we have 2 points of contact, we have friction. Friction creates wear. Wear on wheel bearings and wheels in general can equal wobbly wheels down the road. You'll also begin to see drive issues when you push down on levers, and overall you'll have a more exhausting mow. And a brand new set of front wheels for this Toro Super Recycler is going to run you somewhere around $50, and one individual rear wheel will run you somewhere around $30 to $35. That's a lot of money to keep this thing rolling. To get this party started, we're going to prop the mower up on a jack stand. If you don't have a jack stand, you could use a couple blocks of wood. And if you are one of those that's paranoid about your lawnmower starting up randomly, well, unplug your spark plug for safety reasons. And since the party's in the back, let's start here. 1/2-inch socket. Off it comes. This here is your wheel bolt, and you can see that we have wheel bearings inside these wheels. On the inside, we have a wheel gear. This is our gear cover, and it's going to keep grass from collecting onto those gears. And then finally, we have our drive gear and our height adjuster. Put some cardboard down so we don't make a big mess. So Toro puts about 1 drop of grease on these gears to help keep things moving. Way to go, Toro. Way to step up your game. I'm going to begin by cleaning up this gear. I'm going to use these gunk wipes to get any grease and grass off. I almost got to pull this grass out. And I mowed a seriously wet lawn the other day with this, and this is all that's stuck, so not too bad. Get all the junk out. Looks pretty good to me. As long as you get about 90 to 95% of the junk out of there, you're good to go. Next, I'm going to wipe off this gear cover, which isn't too bad. Get inside this small gear hole right here, and then just simply wipe her down. Good. Another step I'm going to take is I'm going to use fluid film around the height adjusters. This will help keep everything moving nicely so they don't seize up. A quick shot of spray behind each one, and we're good to go. Then I'm just going to clean up this gear with a paper towel to get any old grease and grass off of it. Now, in order to grease our gears, what we're going to do is call in our old friend, Red and Tacky grease. Now, this is a grease that I believe that every homeowner should have in their garage. It has good temperature stability, it's good for chassis and wheel bearing protection, it's good for resistance to rust and corrosion, and has good resistance to water. I use this on lots of different equipment, and one little tub of this has lasted me forever. By the way, this video is not sponsored by Red and Tacky Grease. I paid for this with my own money. And to help this video last forever with the YouTube algorithm, would you mind taking a super quick second to hit that like button? Thank you. You're not going to need much of this stuff. Pretty simple here. Just lay it down with your finger in a glove, and I'm going to go around the gear, spread it around the outside, around the outside, around the outside, just like that. Try to work it into all the teeth. That's it. Done. Now we're going to take our wheel here and do the exact same thing. Take some grease and rub it around the outside of this gear. Don't need much. Just a little bit will do. Good. That'll do. Now, anywhere that we have contact, including these wheel bearings, I like to grease these as well. So I'm just going to put a thin little layer just on the inside and around the outside. This will be the last piece. I'm going to take my wheel bolt here and give this a quick coating too. Life is good. At this point, we're ready to reassemble everything, and it only took me about 2 minutes to do all that. We're going to take our gear cover and slide this back on, and it kind of locks into its own little spot. I'm going to take my wheel, stick in my greasy bolt, and from here, realign my cover on the back, get the wheel bolt into its correct spot, and simply twist her in a few threads. From here, I'm going to drive that bolt back in. Oh yeah, I can totally hear the tackiness of the grease as it's sliding around those gears. That's awesome. I'm gonna wipe off any excess, and we are good to go. Now onto the front, and the fronts are a lot easier. 1/2-inch bolt, take it out. And you can see all we really have is the height adjuster, and inside we have a washer, our wheel bolt, and a couple of wheel bearings. Same thing over here. I'm gonna take some fluid film and give a quick shot behind to help keep things loosened up. From here, we set the washer aside, and we're going to take out our wheel bolt. I'm going to take the wheel here, grease up the inside and around this bearing. That'll do. I'm going to take my bolt, hit that with a quick coat of grease. That'll do. Then just simply reinsert the bolt. Don't forget to add back on your washer. This side of the mower is now done. Both wheels only took about 5 minutes total to do. Let's get to the other side. So here we are on the other side. I have the jack stand in position, holding the mower up. Let's get these wheels off. Wheel bolt out. Take off the cover, take out the bolt. Oh, a little corrosion going on here, There's like nothing on this thing. Let's wipe this gear cover off. That's looking pretty clean. And let's wipe this gear off. That moves so much better, wow. All right, time to grease them up. Spread it around, good there. Take some grease here, get it around the outside of this gear. Not too complicated there, looking good. Also gonna take some grease around the inside of this wheel bearing and on the outside. Last but not least, coat the bolt. We're now all set to put it back together. Wheel cover's back in place. Wheel bolt goes back in. From here, line everything back up and slide back on the wheel. And send her home. All lubed up, baby. Wipe off the excess, and we're good. Now up to the front, last wheel. Take off your washer on the back. Out comes the wheel bolt. Quick shot of fluid film down the back. Apply a little bit of grease to the back side of the bearing and on the inside. Now to the bolt. All set. Wheel bolt goes back in. Take your washer, put it on the back side, and screw her back in. And send her home. Nice and smooth, baby. I'll tell you what, after greasing those gears, this thing rolls a lot easier now. Now here are some frequently asked questions or topics that come up with this procedure. First up, wheels turning red from the red and tacky grease. Although this is pretty rare, if you have white wheels, this could happen. I would keep the grease to a light amount and only in the necessary areas to avoid this problem. And if you only put the grease around the gears, you really shouldn't see the wheels turning red on the front side. Perhaps only around the wheel bolt. Still spinning. Another topic that comes up is what do I do if my lawnmower has grease ports or zerks? Well, Toro's getting away from those and this model doesn't have them. That's what we call cheaping out, right? If your mower does have these grease ports, hit them with a grease gun. A couple pumps will be all you need. This will only help preserve the life of the gears and the transmission. Still spinning. Many also ask, when should I do this procedure? Once a year is perfect, but if you ideally can do this right after your last mow of the season when you clean out the mower, before you're ready to store it. That way the wheels are greased in preparation for next season. You do that and you'll be good to go. Still spinning. Now some have said that greasing the wheels, the bearings, and the gears like this can become a grass magnet over time. Well, if you don't have the wheel covers covering the gears on the back, then yes. But most mowers have some kind of cover there for a reason. In my experience, over the course of the season, some grass will make its way in, but it's not going to be so overwhelming that you need to clean it out regularly. And if you go way back through my reels on Instagram, you'll find a video on the Toro Time Master where I take the wheels off and you can see exactly how much grass found its way in there. It wasn't much. Toro Time Master owners, check this out. I took off the rear wheels and I always grease these gears and this axle every single season, and everyone says don't do that. There's going to be a lot of grease and grass wound up inside there, and I'm here to show you no grass. This is after one season. That was all the grass that was in there, and here's the inside of the wheel. Nothing. There's more grass around the outside of the wheel than there was inside. Head on over to Garage Gear JB on Instagram, scroll all the way through the reels down to the bottom, and you'll find it. For more cool Garage Gear content, click or tap the screen right here. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the garage.